Oh, lovely, an unexpected reunion. Here we go.
Dusk, on a late summer's day in the Loire Valley. A crumbling chateau, nestled deep within the region's lower-end vineyards, has seen better days. So too has its reclusive owner, who patiently tends to his precious Sancerre crop. Much like he, the grape is bracingly acidic, with a hint of stony minerality. A Toyota Yaris makes its way slowly along the gravel track. It creaks to a halt alongside a pristine Sierra RS 500 Cosworth. The overweight DCI Jones clambers out. He's clearly never seen a Pontefract cake he didn't like. You'd swear he's wearing a very poorly fitted fat suit. The man dabs his brow and peers into the Cosworth. An eyebrow is raised at the passenger footwell full of wine corks. A man sits in the shadows on the veranda, his back turned.
Detective Chief Inspector Gwyn Jones. You're a long way from Scotland Yard. Take a wrong turn.
How did you know it was me, Robbyns? God, you're good.
Nice.
Your scent preceded you.
Oh.
No Frenchman would sport that particular mix of Old Spice and body odour.
DCI Jones spies a man in a frayed deck chair as he rounds the corner. The dictionary doesn't contain the term silver fox, but if it did, it would have a photo of this man. Lean, but with traces of the strength and scars of his past. Strong but tender. Intense but calm. Hair greying at the temples leads to a vibrant and irresistibly sexual swooping mane of steel slate hair. He pours a dry white wine into a tumbler.
It's a big glass.
Nice of you to show up. Shame the same thing can't be said about my leaving do.
I wouldn't call scrawling the word incompetence on the Commissioner's office wall a leaving do. It's been quite a drive.
Don't tell me. A2, 2-hour delay on the M20, then the train. Ham and cheese sandwich with the cheese removed, weak tea, 3 sugars, A16, Paris Ring Road, 45 minutes of strike traffic, on Café at Versailles, A10 all the way.
A grin betrays Jones's face. He's still got it, he thinks.
It was over an hour of strike traffic, actually. Robbyns, I'm not here for you to show off. We all know your powers, but also the toll it's taken on your enormous mind. I need your help, and I don't know who else to turn to.
I'll stop you there, Gwen. I put more tax-evading small to medium-sized businesses behind bars than you've had cheeseless ham sandwiches. And what did I get in return? I've left that world behind. Those ghosts belong in the past. Besides, there's no room on the force for someone who doesn't papa by the Romeos. They want compliance, boxes ticked and I's dotted. They don't care for results. Vine blight is my enemy now, not the criminal underworld world.
This is different. This case is too big, is too important. He needs the eye of a man who identified the Sunderland stalker exclusively by the muscadet you detected from kissing him on the lips. What was it you used to say? We need someone who...
Tango's outside the Bravo?
Thinks outside the box, yes, exactly.
The only box I have these days is 3 litres in size and 12% in ABV.
Jones reaches into a battered portmanteau and pulls out a thick case file. Stained and well thumbed, he slams it down on the table and pushes it slowly towards Robbyns. Robbyns swills his wine and holds it aloft to the day's last remaining light.
I can see through you just as clearly as I can see through this glass of poulet fumé. The grapes of the poulet fumé resemble small bird eggs as they grow. Did you know that? And when they're ripe, they develop a grey bloom. The monks who first grew them called it the white smoke. But what embers smoulder in the heart of a man? And what paltry flame is hidden in those pages?
You think I'd drive all this way for something trivial, Robbyns? Take a look at the file.
I don't need to. I know what's written on the first of those 50-odd thousand words. One name. Anderson.
I think you better crack open the rosé. Wow.
The file.
Dusk turns to darkness, and wine to wonder. The temperature plummets, a fire roars in the great stone hearth of the crumbling chateau. D.I. Robbyns sits opposite his former colleague, scanning him with a combination of suspicion and contempt, as Jones sips on his drink.
I can't believe you're sitting here, of all places, drinking that.
Jones sits with the cheeky glow of a man 2 glasses deep into a bottle of...
Echo Falls Fruit Fusions. I can't expose my delicate disposition to anything remotely foreign.
As much as I would love to sit and analyse your bleak Celtic appetite, I'm pretty busy here, Jones.
He gestures to his surroundings, revealing only darkness.
Let's cut to the chase, Jones. Why are you here? What do you want from me?
Jones puts his hands on his head and stares into the ground. The 5.5% ABV refreshing blend of summer strawberries, sweet raspberry flavours and a touch of dark fruit begins to hit.
The Anderson file. There's been a significant development. Please, I need you to take another peek, Robbyns. For your own sake.
Take a peek? I have a good mind to take it out to the well and throw it down there. Besides, I'm not interested in reliving the past.
Oh, because the present's really working out for you.
I didn't invite you here, Gwyn. When I dropped my trousers, I wasn't saying au revoir. I was saying goodbye and good riddance.
You can't keep running, Robbyns. Not with your heavy bones.
Oh, watch me.
Fine, run away. You've got your vineyard, your award-winning Sancerre, the body of a man half your age in enviable golf, handicap, Mensa membership, top marks in firearms, hand-to-hand combat, advanced driving and hostage negotiation, a master's in broadcast journalism, PhD in criminal psychology, fluent Gaelic, French and Mandarin, and you still hold the finest 3-dart average I've ever seen in the Met. But what are those things without, I don't know, closure? And more. Your life may depend on it.
Finally, Robbyns sighs reluctantly. He pulls across the hefty tome in front of him and begins to flick through the case that he swore he'd never cast eyes upon again. He can read at the speed of sound, his eyes darting across the page like the bubbles in his decanter award-winning Blanc de Blanc. He inhales it like the whale did Jonah. The hours tick by. With disdain for the weak fruit drink on offer and concentration levels that could power a small town, the alcohol subsides and clears his mind.
Well. This doesn't make for pretty reading. We have just come to dread of the past, Gwyn. It's darker than the Saipan incident when McCarthy stabbed Keane in the back.
That's the D.I. Robbyns I know. I wondered how long it would take for your accent to come back.
Well, in the time it's taken me to read through the Anderson file, I've sobered up. And I've reverted back to my native Cork accent, of course. But enough about my dialect. What does all this mean, Jones? Why would you bring this nightmare back to me?
The DCI hesitates nervously. Something he's not done since he had to choose a different option to his usual in the chippy.
There's been a change of circumstances, Robbyns. The car that eluded us for all those years in the Anderson, Chris, we've finally been able to identify it.
What? What are you saying to me? How can this be possible at all?
You might want to sit down, Robbyns. I'm about to reveal something that'll shock you.
Spit it out, Jones!
Well, using a mixture of CCTV, AI and Bing, we were able to figure out the number plate of the car. And from there we were able to deduce its owner.
Well, what was the number plate?
The registration was L...
Phonetically or not at all. How many times do I have to tell you, man?
Right, okay. A, B, C, D, E, F, G... Lima, Oscar...
Victor 3, Victor Alpha Tango Hell's Teeth.
What? How did you know?
You know my methods. It can't be. It can't be theirs.
Yes, Robbyns. The car belonged to...
My accountant.
Wow.
The coup de grace.
D.I. Robbyns looks shocked in the now bright morning sunlight, having learnt that his accountant's car has played a key role in the Anderson file.
My accountant!
Yes, your accountant.
That's impossible. They died in the big receipt fair, years before Anderson was even on the scene. Hoarder they were. Refused to go digital. The house was a tiller-roll tinderbox, I tell you. What on earth could they have to do with it?
Well, that's not all. The boot was filled with photocopies of every single one of your old tax returns. As you can imagine, there were quite a lot of them.
Nonsense! Someone's trying to interfere with the case. Do you know that I keep all my receipts from the past 7 years at a secure, remote location, and anything older than that is incinerated?
Suddenly, Robbyns' heightened sensory perception ticks into overdrive. A distant glint from over his shoulder flashes several miles away for the briefest of milliseconds.
Jones, you've been followed.
Robbyns stands to attention and surveys what looks like a vehicle on the Loire Valley horizon. In a flash, the car speeds off.
Wow! That's a very loud engine, given the car's several miles away.
It's a Citroen SM 2.7 litre by the sound of it. To the cozzy!
With no time to lose, D.I. Robbyns slides across the bonnet of his beloved Sierra Cosworth with all the grace of Colin Jackson. Jones piles into the passenger seat, spilling crumbs on the pristine car dash. They head down the long drive to the rusting gates.
Am I all right on your side?
Careful, Robbyns, watch out for that truck!
Quick as a flash, Robbyns yields to the truck in accordance with the road's right-of-way. Then, shifting from second to third, merges beautifully onto the winding road and smartly passes.
There they are! Step on it!
Thanks for the advice.
The black Citroen skids across a junction, just as the upcoming traffic lights blink from Chardonnay to Merlot. The Citroen hurtles through. The Cosworth purrs to a gentle stop.
Robbyns, this is an emergency. There's nothing coming, man!
I may not play by the rules, but I do play by the law. Le code highway must always be respected, otherwise we're no better than those we put away.
D.I. Gwyn's knuckles whiten in his lap. Time stands still. A cat stretches in the sun. It watches an old woman wheel an orange cart across the street. Perspiration pours from the chief inspector like the 14th century fountain in the square.
God, man, you're insane!
The lights change. Robin slides into gear, patiently checks his mirrors, finds the biting point, and without revving his engine at all, drives carefully around the orange cart, hitting the 30km/h speed limit on the dot.
Oh, we lost them, Robbyns. We'll never catch up now.
Oh, voo of petty faith, Gwyn.
Remembering back to his early driving lessons, Robbyns executes a perfect three-point turn and trundles into the side streets.
It's a Tuesday morning. You soon find out in a town like that if I just turn here and then here... Aha!
Well, there they are. They're trapped between those two delivery lorries. Let's get them, pull up here.
Robbyns pulls into the spot with consummate grace.
Ah, it's pay and display now. How did that escape your Jones?
Robbyns navigates the logistics of downloading another pay-by-phone app with the digital skills of a man half his age, pays for 30 minutes, and pelts towards the trapped Citroen.
Stop! In the name of the...
Registering for yet another parking app has proved costly. On reaching the car, the delivery truck's trapping it apart, and the high-performance coupe bursts off through the town square, swerving around the central fountain and knocking over tables at a Café Rouge.
Whoa! By the power of our Uncle Dude, have got away.
Don't worry, Jones. They won't get foul driving that recklessly.
Ignoring the go-slow signs, the Michelin tyres lose their grip. The back end flicks out at the hairpin bend, and the car careens into a ravine hundreds of metres below.
Going 50 on a 20. That's what happens when you break the law.
As smoke billows into the sky, Robbyns turns and calmly strolls back to the Cosworth.
Damn it, Robbyns. Looking at that unidentifiable wreckage, we'll never know now who was following you.
Oh, I wouldn't be so sure about that. Wow. The driver.
After witnessing the crash, Robbyns and Jones stand in the quaint French piazza, looking over the unidentifiable wreckage. DCI Jones fears they'll never know who was following them.
Oh, damn it, Robbyns. Looking at that unidentifiable wreckage, we'll never know who's following you.
Oh, I wouldn't be so sure of that.
It's no use. The fireball of a coupe is more cooked than that steak I'd at Rumney Workingmen's Club.
Why would someone be
You're right.
Yeah.
DI.
Why would someone be following us just as you bring back in... Oh, I'm going to start that again, Dave.
Yeah.
The accent's not quite there yet, dear.
Luckily, you can have a drink in a minute, so it's fine.
Yeah. Why would someone be following us just as you brought me back into examining the Anderson file? Who was the driver?
Robbyns takes a swig from his hip flask, containing an Albarino vintage. The alcohol has an instant effect, turning his 100% accurate Cork accent into the gentle, charming, warm regional accent that secures him sporadic voiceover work.
'Tis a pickle of the tartest proportions. To work this out, I must travel into the vast recesses of my enormous mind. What did you see, Robbyns? What did you really see? Citroen SM 2.7 litre, clearly earning. Higher income tax bracket at the very least. No tax disc, so he's gone digital, must be organised. A Telindex rotary address card holder on the dashboard. The scent from the air freshener, what was that now? Hints of pine, yarrow, alpine, herbs. He must be from the Alps. Now, that music I could hear wafting out of the stereo. What was it? It was something only the most seasoned of minds would listen to. Fairport Convention? No, too folk. Peter Gabriel? Almost, but the riffs were more complex. Come on, Robbyns. This was something that only a true pro would enjoy. I got it! The Brothers Knopf! It was Dire Straits. Money for Nothing, 1985. Clearly interested in extracting money for nothing. He must be an accountant. A senior alpine accountant with an incredible mind and taste in music. It can only be!
Christophe Argent, founder of Argent Accountancy. Location, the Alps. 53 years old, 3 kids. Carrefour Club Card member and roots rock enthusiast.
How on earth did your puny croissant-fueled mind deduce such a thing?
Well, I picked up a diary that fell out of the passenger door before the car careened down that convenient gorge. It included his driver's licence, passport, membership cards, a receipt for a fondue set, a Dire Straits ticket, and a business card for Argent Accountancy, making you money for almost nothing.
We're looking at an international accountancy conspiracy, Jones, involving both mine and the spreadsheet merchants right here. This could stretch as far afield as Burgundy, Aquitaine, maybe even Belgium.
Well, that's the second of many accountancy-based revelations.
To the Alps! You drive, Jones, but keep below 100 kph.
Why are all these accountants involved, Robbyns? What does this have to do with your perfectly filed tax paperwork? We've not even discussed what the Anderson case even is yet.
All will be revealed, but what I haven't told you is that Anderson and I were a lot closer than you might think. We were once roommates.
Oh, at university?
Not quite. At HMP Wormwood Scrubs.
Sacre bleu.
The cellmate.
Oh my god, it sounds like a Pinter play.
D.I. Robbyns and DCI Jones head to the Alps in the Cosworth to work out why they've been chased by an accountant. To cut the tension, Robbyns flicks on his favourite French digital terrestrial radio station.
Well, I looked at the toilet on my bathroom wall where he'd just been perched, and I told him, mon ami, that there is not a bidet. You're listening to Adrienne on Radio 5 Live. And at 17 minutes past 1, let's head to the news.
Online, at Quebec, whilst ranting at La Gare about a baguette.
This is Radio 5 Live, the voice of the Loire Valley.
Radio 5 Live, I'm Justine Vert. Police believe there has been one fatality after a Citroën SM 2.7 crashed into a ravine following a suspected car chase. The victim has not yet been identified. However, reports suggest that...
Oh, what a surprise! Of course, the French police don't have the faintest clue about what's going on.
Hey, whoa. Hold on a second, Robbyns. You've just told me you were in prison with Anderson and you haven't even tried to elaborate. How? Why? Who even are you?
It's not what you think, Jones. I wasn't there at Her Majesty's pleasure, but at the pleasure of Her Majesty's Metropolitan Police Force.
Hang on. You've never been part of the undercover unit?
Well, I guess that goes to show just how undercover I was. Let me explain. The year was 1995. The opening of the Channel Tunnel and caught the imagination of a generation, and entrance in Wakefield could be heard in every nightclub up and down the land. I was being sent to Wormwood Scrubs to monitor the movements of the UK's most notorious inmates. I was to play the part of a lower down on his luck teenager with a sympathetic ear and a penchant for all things justice. I was in my mid-30s at the time. You'd think I'd never get away with playing the part of a young criminal in their late teens, but my stunning physique and youthful good looks helped. It's actually the plot to Crims.
Yeah, yes.
I was introduced to my cellmate. He was a mysterious man, so anonymous you wouldn't have noticed him staring in a one-man show. He was one of defining marker was his incredibly posh home counties lilt. Not too dissimilar to that of Dumbledore. You know, from the Harry Potter films. I'll never forget his first words to me.
Oh, great. Another babysitter, I presume.
I should add, the pitch of his voice only got higher as the conversation went on.
I don't care what you're in for, young man. Just keep yourself to yourself and we'll get along just fine.
Anderson and I sat in that hellhole of a cell for 12 weeks, without seeing another word. Then, one cold December morning, as we ate our breakfast in total silence, Anderson finally Anderson finally spoke again.
Young man, it seems we have a familiar taste. Every day since you've arrived, you've eaten the same comforting breakfast of jalapenos on toast, accompanied by both tomato ketchup and yellow mustard.
Now, to you, Jones, that might seem like a rather peculiar coincidence.
But of course. I mean, two people enjoying the exact same disgusting breakfast. What are the chances of that?
Well, is it a case of like father, like son?
Wow. The note.
D.I. Robbyns and DCI Jones are on their way to the Alps. But after the revelation that Robbyns is actually Anderson's son, they decide to seek rest and solace for the evening in Air de Pierrefitte, one of France's top-rated service stations.
Pierrefitte, the tea bay of the continent. That's what some call it anyways. But obviously it shares more in similarities with Newport Pagnell than anywhere else. No, that title, the tea bay of the continent, should go to Air de Montélimar West. Don't get me wrong. They may have a wider baguette selection here, but the cheese selection available at Montélimar is nothing short of...
Robbyns! You've just revealed that Anderson is your father, and all you seem to be concerned about is the delightful local produce on offer.
Jones, you do know that cheese appreciation can go beyond just grated or squirty, don't you?
I don't have time for these constant flashbacks and off-topic discussions. I should have been home days ago. The boys on the source will be wondering why I missed Wednesday darts.
Well, it's not like they're losing Gerwin Price, of course. I've seen your throwing technique. These things take time.
Okay, fine. Tell me more. After all, I have to say convoluted details when you won't discuss the actual Anderson file.
It's a difficult story to tell, and one that's full of twists and turns. Pass me that carrier bag.
Jones hands him the bag full of purchases from the service station. In it, a packet of Lay's fromage, a bottle of Cabernet Franc, and no less than 4 types of terrine. Robbyns takes a sip and as has already been established, the alcohol causes him to lose his mother tongue.
I had a wonderful childhood in rural Cork. It's somewhat apt that I was born in a place named after the something I'm so often reaching for. But in those days, I only ever wanted to be one thing. A DI. A rank, perfect balance to optimize crime fighting without so much bureaucratic paperwork.
Oh, Lay's fromage. It tastes just like cheese crisps. You sound like a cool kid.
I was so entrenched that at the age of 4, my father, or Pop as we called him, whittled me my own detective badge out of our front door. Yes, this led to us living in the draftiest house this side of Durgarvan. But I was happy.
Okay, then. Well, what happened?
Well, Pop, God bless him, didn't stick around for too long. Or stick around. Pop didn't stick around for too long. Pop that in the podcast. His uniquely high-voiced, coupled with his insistence on wearing a cape all the time, meant he never really fitted in with the locals. One day it all became too much, and I never saw him again.
What? He didn't even say goodbye to you?
No. Frankly, his voice was so grating that it was probably for the best. He did, however, leave a cryptic note for me.
My dear little Robbyns, I'm afraid it's time for me to leave you. I'm definitely only leaving because of my voice and not any other reason that might reveal itself in the future. I hope you go on to achieve your dream of becoming the most decorated DI in the Garda. If you do, I'm certain we'll cross paths eventually. I've left my favourite cape bind as a way of remembering you. Farewell.
We ended up using that cape as a draft excluder, but I've cherished the note ever since.
So the next time you saw your father was in Wormwood Scrubs. Did he recognise you?
No, and that's exactly how I wanted things to stay. That was until one day, when in the rec room he heard me whistling along to the one thing that would come to both bring us together and pull us further apart than ever. Dire Straits.
Romeo and Juliet.
Got it in one, Jones. However, things ended up more like Julius Caesar.
Oh my God, Robbyns. Your penchant for cliffhangers is very impressive, but shall we get back on track with what on earth the Anderson case even is?
Seven, The Drive by Ella Smith.
Our dynamic duo pull up on a side street in Chamonix, in the shadow of Mont Blanc.
Here we are, Robbyns. The office of Christophe Argent, the man who chased us and then conveniently careered down a ravine.
That's all right, that, Ivor. I don't mind that at all.
Here we are, Robbyns was all right, and it went to absolute pot.
The automatic doors of the office slide open. They tentatively walk in.
It's empty. Doesn't that strike you as odd?
Well, it's mid-afternoon on a Tuesday. In France. Of course it's empty. That's the least untoward thing about this place. Come on, Robbyns. Time to use your mind. Initiate crime mode. Leverage fails. Hole punchers that could annihilate a hardback. A bidet under each desk. All usual things for a French accountancy office. But this receipt is from yesterday, and it's on top of the in-tray. Someone has been doing some filing recently. Photocopy is still warm. Be on your guard, Jones.
Jones stands transfixed, staring at a semi-pornographic tax calendar on the wall.
Jones, man! What the devil are you staring at?
These men, they're so beautiful. Oh, wow. What's happened? And one of them is incredibly well endowed.
That's more than just his monthly paycheck bulging.
Robbyns removes the calendar from the wall. Affixed to the back, a USB. As he reaches for it, a beautiful Frenchwoman seizes his arm, stopping him in his tracks.
Bonjour.
Sacre bleu! Madam, though your beguiling hair is the colour of Memphis, and your eyes the deep brown of Sussex best bitter, they will not distract me from your vice-like grip. The calluses on your hands and the shape of your shoulders suggest a qualified CrossFit instructor. I'd say 85 kilo 5-rep back squat and 130 kilo single deadlift.
132 kilograms, actually. But, monsieur, that flash drive does not belong to you.
You may be a très belle femme, but you're standing in the way of the law. I must take it at any cost.
The beautiful French woman grabs the USB stick, then lunges for Robbyns, landing a ferocious punch to his midriff, sending Robbyns flying into a pile of receipts.
Robbyns, stop her.
Jones, I already have.
Zit alors! You have broken my hand.
It's your own fault for punching me in my abs. You're not the only one who was born to bench. I'll take that flash drive, thank you very much.
In pain, the woman drops the USB stick and faints. Robbyns reaches down to the floor and picks it up.
Good job, Robbyns, but why are you so desperate to take an unmarked USB stick? It could have anything on it.
Oh, it'll be more useful than you think. Read the label on the side.
It's an audio always thing. I don't understand.
The other side!
Anderson.
The computer.
Thanks to Robbyns' rock-hard abdominals, our dynamic duo have possession of a USB stick, which could be crucial to their long-winded investigation. All they have to do is open the file.
Right, Robbyns. All we've got to do is to find out what's on that blimmin' USB stick.
Well, computing is my kryptonite, of course, Jones. I famously only work in analog. I bought a Casio watch in 1985, and that was enough for me.
Right, I'll just log into one of these computers myself.
Don't worry, Jones. I'm sure I can learn on the job.
Robbyns sits at a desk and stares at one of the screens which populate the empty office.
How on earth do you turn this thing on?
Under the desk.
Why would you turn it on under the desk?
Because that's where the computer is.
No, the computer's there in front of me.
No, that's just a monitor.
No, that's a computer.
No, the monitor's attached to the computer, which is under the desk.
Well, that makes no sense. It's like a Cosworth dragging its 1.5cc V60 behind it.
With a roll of the eyes, Jones presses on the computer tower, and the screen comes to life.
Wow! How did that happen? This is like Knight Rider.
Right, well, there's no password, so just click enter.
Careful now. I've heard of the dangers of 8-factor authentication from a friend of mine who works at the BBC. They require something called a username and a password. Your fingerprint, footprint, retina scan, bone density scan, spittle and blood sample before being provided with an 87-digit one-time passcode. Failure to enter the code within the allotted time results in the building going into lockdown and the processing of the offending individual by MI5. Now, we wouldn't want that now, would we?
Right, press enter. It's the big key on the right-hand side of the keyboard.
I don't think you'll be able to operate such advanced technology, Jones. You were still down the mines in 2004. It's rare that I acknowledge my few shortcomings, but I think I need to ring this handy office helpline number.
I am telling you, Robbyns, just press enter. Bonjour. Bonjour. Oui, how can I help you?
Hello? I need urgent help. I'm having a tiny little floppy disk which needs to go onto a computer, whatever that means.
Yes, sir. It's not a floppy disk. It is not a 1991. It is probably a USB.
But it's so much smaller. How is it meant to store anything? What do I do with it?
Just put it into the computer, please.
Ah, but I've got no screwdriver to open the computer.
Okay, into one of the holes in the black box under the desk. No, that is for your headphones. No, the other way around.
Ah, we're in.
Merci.
My talents know no bounds.
Okay, not to use the mouse.
Oh, we don't have any mice here at all.
Oh, for goodness sake, I might as well do it myself.
Jones seizes the mouse and double-clicks on the file entitled Anderson.
Robbyns, it's me, Anderson. I don't have much time, but I have some vital information to share with you. Grab a pen and make note of everything I say, because what I'm about to tell you could shake you to your very core.
Oh.
Whoa. the club.
What I'm about to tell you could shake the very foundations of accountancy forever. To get closer to solving this somewhat drawn-out conundrum, you need to go to Ibiza immediately and track down a man who goes by the name of DJ Big Feet, Robbyns. You're going clubbing.
Well, here we are, Robbyns. Strawberry Passion Super Club.
Holy mother of James Joyce Jones! I'm not stepping foot in there.
Why not? Too young for you?
You know me, Jones. I found a Cayley a little bit much, so I can't even imagine what it's like.
Oh, well, don't worry. I've brought back up. PC Nebworth was on holiday here. Bit of a pencil pusher, if you ask me, but this is his bread and butter.
Oh, not the one who only speaks in rhyming couplets.
A clubbing playground to nourish the soul. Make it your Neverland. Never get old.
What's wrong with his jaw? Has he been chewing too much gum?
Here I am, dressed head to toe in phyllo. Forget the beer, it's time to get on the tequila.
These are his people, Robbyns. Just stick with him and we'll fit right in.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's hilarious. That's incredible. Well done, Sean.
Oh, well, what is all this racket? I can't hear a thing.
Sticky floors, 130 BPM. Feel the rhythm, cut shapes like Boney M.
Where's the guitarist? Why haven't I heard a middle eight or a bridge to the chorus yet?
Come on, mate, it's far more complex, but you'd only know that if you'd spun on the decks. D.I. Robbyns makes a beeline for the bar.
Dre, wait, Wayne! I said Dre, wait, Wayne! No, not white rum! Dre! No, that's wet! Like a muscadet. Yeah, fine, that'll do.
Robbyns takes a sip and slides into an English lilt.
Oh, Robbyns. It's just so great, you know? I mean, I just really, really feel the music, you know?
Jones, what on earth has happened to you?
My back was playing up and the guy in the toilet was selling paracetamol and I just want to dance. I just think you're a really, really good copper, actually, and I love you.
Big fish, little fish, cardboard box. Dance the night like the music never stops.
Jones, that wasn't paracetamol.
I love you, Robbyns. I just love you so much. I just think you're so talented. I've always loved you.
Enhanced sense of well-being, increased extroversion, emotional warmth, empathy towards others. This isn't like you, Jones.
Robbyns eyes Jones with suspicion, but before he's able to probe his wide-eyed colleague further, he spots the person who he's travelled over 1,500 kilometres to confront.
DJ Big Feet, I've got a request for you.
I don't do requests, man.
Anderson!
Brett, as in the lead singer celebrating 90s Britpop act Suede. Not playing that garbage in here, mate. I'll call it a dance floor.
No, you buffoon. The Anderson file. Ring any bells?
Oh, right. Okay, I see. Don't worry. You found the right person, but I've still got 45 minutes of bangers to get through, so meet me tomorrow at Lucid Lounge, okay, 2 p.m. sharp. Bring a chair. With what I'm about to tell you, man, you might want to sit down.
Lucid dreams.
Still cooking from their big night out, D.I. Robbyns and DCI Jones head to Lucid Lounge.
Yet more depravity. Scantily clad honeys, electronic music, and more vapes than the pavement of a British high street. Ah, Jones, you're here. The last time I saw you, you were breakdancing on that podium with your top off.
What's the point in it all, Robbyns? I mean, how are people meant to go back to their normal 9 to 5 after feeling such incredible highs? I mean, I just wish I was back in Rumney watching Good Will Hunting with a cup of hot chocolate. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call my mum and I'm just going to thank her for being there.
Now's not the time for you to get introspective, Jones.
Overlooking the sparkling Mediterranean, Robbyns and Jones spot DJ Big Feet and make themselves comfortable at the white leather booth he's sitting at.
Ah, Big Feet, let's cut to the chase. I want this meeting to be over and done with in 3 minutes. What information do you have on the Anderson file? My father, Anderson, sent us your way.
Yeah, I knew your old man. Do you by any chance remember the avant-garde house movement of the late 1980s?
Of course I do. It eschewed the proven foundations of the guitar.
Right, well, back in the early days of that movement, your old man and I formed the ill-fated key-centric group, the Ancient Shaman and Momo, pushing the boundaries in the realm of trap synths.
So you mean to say, when my father walked out on me, he did so to set up an ill-advised ambient electronic group?
Aye, yeah, conceptual art mix with keyboards. So, one single reached number 38 on the Swedish alternative charts, but other than that, our success is very much underground.
Well, it sounds like you were living the life. Why did it end?
Well, once burnt £1 million to stick it to the system. No, I mean, the problem was we didn't actually have £1 million, so we'd burnt someone else's, and he was put away for artistic arson, and the band ended there. It started with him. It started in my life of crime. Well, I went on to become a superstar DJ. Anyway, this is what the Anderson case says.
1 second. Crime and synths in my DNA? Even for my gigantic brain, this is a lot of information.
A bartender comes to the table with 2 glasses of juice and a receipt.
Hey, you get one of these juices, don't you, right? Live by the juice, die by the juice, that's what I say. Pete Tong put me onto the juice game, and since then I've never gone Pete Tong.
I might as well be drinking poison. I'll pass on the juice, thanks.
The DJ gulps down his cold-pressed concoction.
Aye, that's refreshing, that, aye.
Come on, Big Feet. You said you'd be able to reveal all about the Anderson file. I think you're the key to us finally being able to solve exactly what's been going on.
God, they put a lot of ginger in that. That's
Are
disgusting.
you okay? Do you want me to get you a juice to wash down your juice?
I think Robbyns, man.
Jones carefully brings Big Feet's head into his lap.
I think I've been poisoned, John. Robbyns, man. It's okay, Big Feet. I'll look after you. Come on. Let me stroke your hair. You'll be okay.
Robbyns inspects the receipt for clues.
Carrot, celery, pear, turmeric. Hang on. They've added an extra 10% as a service charge. It should be up to the consumer to decide if they want to offer a tip. This sort of financial mugging shouldn't be accepted. I'd rather they just inflate their prices by 10% instead of forcing a charge on me.
I don't think that's important at the minute, Robbyns.
Anyway, what business would the bar tend to have with Ibiza's #1 house DJ?
He's poisoned me, man, because there is only one person who knows the full details of the Anderson crime. And that person is me.
The wave.
The bartender's fleeing. But how are you ever going to catch up with him at your age, Robbyns?
He's not. He's not
Just for any confused listeners, Ivor's trying to do a Cork accent. He's trying to do an impression of John's Cork accent, and I think he's about to.
I just didn't think about how I was going to have to do this today, and I'm just it's so far away from what I'm comfortable doing. He's not safe. Just. I'm sorry. He's not safe just yet, Jones. Not whilst I've got my Heelys on.
Heelys are naughty's innovation. That's far too advanced for you.
What?
Where's your Cork? Where's your Cork, Ivo?
Gotta give us some Cork.
some.
You don't have to give us Cork.
How do you like?
You've gone deeply red.
I'm really sorry. I just it's something I've never tried to do before, and I've always been anxious about. And well, sometimes you've just got to roll with the times.
There you go.
Oh God.
There you go.
And well, the thought of like Cork specifically. I was with one of my best friends, Luke, who's Irish, just last night, and it's like I wasn't like thinking about Robbyns and just picking up what I could. And whilst many saw Heelys as a product that caused a worryingly high number of ankle injuries, I saw them as the perfect footwear for any detective worth his salt.
And now you'll be happy about this bit, Ivo. Robin swigs from a glass of wine, causing him to lose his native Cork accent.
That's already in there. You've not just invented that for me, but what a relief.
He flicks the Heelys out of the base of his Chelsea boots.
Just watch me heel.
It's incredible how much more comfortable you are in your own accent, Ivo, as an actor. I've not seen a man crumble like that on air for a very, very long time.
I wouldn't say you were solid as a rock earlier on during all that peacock first name Drew business.
Robbyns glides across the polished marble with frightening speed, skidding past patrons and around tables.
God, nice.
He grinds to a halt at the only exit, cornering the escaping bartender.
You're no match for my velocity. I've got no time for an interrogation scene. Who made you poison DJ Big Feet?
The surfer. I did not catch his name, but he had luscious blonde locks that went all the way down to his ankles. He's taking part in the international championships on the island.
Jones, pack your trunks. We're going surfing.
Below sits the glistening beach of San Antonio as the waves lap in the breeze.
Robbyns, you can't be serious. Going undercover amongst a group of criminal surfers, not even Hollywood in the 90s would think up a storyline so far-fetched.
Jones, you're looking at the Cork Under-15 surf champion of 1972. This should be a piece of cake.
Well, that may be, but you can't do it after 3 glasses of Sancerre.
Although highly inadvisable, there's no law against half-cut barrel rolling. Surf's up, dude.
Robbyns leaps into the water. He spots a surfer in the distance, whose blonde hair glistens in the sun, and proceeds to take out the competition, clattering past them with drunken abandon.
Get out of my way, you oaf.
Careering around, he takes out competitor after competitor, across the breaking waves until he's only one left.
That's some totally rad boarding, my dude.
Thanks, dude, man. Love the impractically long hair. Digging the tats, dude. What do they mean?
The crusty bread represents my power, the pickle for knowledge, and the cheese for stability. The Holy Trinity.
And that symbol?
That means hang 10 for life.
No, it doesn't. I'm fluent in Cantonese. No. Oh, no, that's not. Oh, good. And I know exactly what that says. Anderson.
The encounter.
As DCI Jones watches D.I. Robbyns crash through the waves, he's transported back 40 years to the grey, cloudy valleys and beaches of South Wales, and longs for the love of his life, his dear wife Gwyneth. Rhymney Working... Is it Rhymney?
Rumney in a
Rhymney. Rhymney Working Men's Club, the weekly roller disco 1984. A young DCI Robbyns sweats into his knitted jumper at the bar, the perspiration dripping onto the patterned carpet.
Well, you see, actually, it was a fleshly team looking back, which struggled much more during the... there was a coal shortage in 1958, but because then all the backs had to go and look for coal because there was talk of a strike. And anyway, in Cardiff, they had much more coal, so they kept the whole team together during that year's Five Nations.
A beautiful woman glides up to DCI Jones at the bar.
Oh, that's so interesting. What's your name, hot stuff?
Oh, sorry, 2 ticks. Let me just finish these scampi fries.
Now, Ellis used to say he's very good at eating, pretend eating on the radio. So.
Yes, sorry, madam. Dennis Clive Ian Jones, DCI Jones for short.
Oh, I never met a Clive before. It's sexy, though. Come to the roller disco with me. Got any favourite Dennis Clive Ian? Got any favourite food? I mean, Dennis Clive Ian.
Big fan of ham. Sometimes with potatoes. I suppose parsley sauce. If it was a bit of a stretch, really, but I often find parsley sauce is too wet for me, so I just tend to have boiled potatoes and ham.
Real man's food is dry. So erotic. Me, I like a chicken tikka masala.
Oh, no, sounds too spicy for me. If I had anything like that, it would play havoc with my inside for days.
Oh, a sensitive man. The things I wish I could do with a sensitive man. Look after me, cradle me in a standard-sized man arms.
Oh, yeah? So what is it you do, then?
Well, I used to model for Vogue, but now I balance Miss Universe contests with advertising the UN. So sorry.
Well, that's nice. I sort the files in the Neath's police station, yeah.
Neath, wow. Such a great organisational skills. Like me, DCI, because we're all discoing, remember?
I couldn't possibly do that. I slipped a disc the other night. I was sat in the chairs, local men's choir practiced on a social club. I don't sing because I got a very weak diaphragm, though. A sort of physiological issue. I can't project.
Oh, I love a man who's familiar with his own physical weaknesses.
Yeah, well, less to do with the disc itself, more the sort of back fat that's accumulated through watching too much snooker.
Oh, Dave, Clive, Ian, quit it with the sexy talky tease. Make intense love to me.
They engage in afternoon radio-friendly sexy time.
Oh, my giddy aunt. Good grief. That was almost as enjoyable as the first episode of Public Come.
Well, DCI Jones, you're such an incredible lover, like Tom Jones and Robbie Savage in the future rolled into one hunky Welsh package.
Well, I don't know, I don't brag, but sex education lessons taught me more than enough. Thank you, Harold Wilson's progressive policies. That's what I say to that. Sorry, madam, I never did ask your name.
Well, it's Gwyneth Anderson, but you can call me Annie.
Those were the days. I do miss my beautiful Annie. Anderson?
The Crush.
Time stands still as Robbyns bobs around in the ocean next to the surfer who is apparently linked to Anderson. Robbyns feels the urge to wee. Undercover and in a front entry wetsuit, he's no option but to do it in secret. It transports him back to the dark day of his own first love as a wee boy in County Cork.
Mammy, can I go to the big pop concert? I want to take this girl called Aoife.
Are you sure that's going to impress her?
Okay.
See,
It does say Scottish
No,
accent.
it does.
see, she's never heard Dire Straits before, and Mark Knepfler's guitar playing could change her life.
No, little Robbyns. Oh, God. Just bear with me 1 second. What's Scottish again? Scotland. Now, little Robbyns, you best be on your way to school. Don't forget your Pret stack. Remember, it's collage day.
Robbyns heads to school where he sits, making an emotionally intense collage to impress his crush.
Oh no, I've forgotten my Pritt stick. Miss, I'm just going to the store cupboard. Aoife Spillane, what are you doing in this cupboard? Maybe the universe is giving me a chance that might not come again. Just me and the third best hurler in the year.
I ran out of Pritt stick. I just wanted...
Me too! Did you know that Pritt stick is good in classrooms because it's nowhere near as dangerous to sniff with the other more solvent-intensive glues?
That's cool.
Sorry, what were you going to say?
Siobhan said you like me.
Actually, what I said was that I love you with the fire of 1,000 supernovas.
Okay, cool. Would you like... Oh, God. Would you like to hold my hand one day?
I'd love to hold your hand now and always.
They daintily hold each other's hand. Suddenly, an odd...
Is he thinking about this when he's out at sea, Dave?
Yeah, when he's weird.
Why?
Well, it becomes clear in a minute, John, but sometimes we can't help but control what our thoughts cast our minds back to.
It's true.
Suddenly, an odd mechanical noise can be heard.
Oh no! A water pistol positioned perfectly for a person grabbing Pritt stick off the third shelf. It's all over my trousers.
The door swings open as the class bully storms in. Robbyns and Spillane holding hands! Look, Robbyns has wet himself, little lover boy's wee pants.
Poor Aoife ran beetroot-faced to the girls' toilets. I never spoke to her again. I remember the smirk of Steve Dunn, who took her to see some goons called U2 instead. Pure evil.
As the warm tinkle settles in his wetsuit, all Robbyns could think about was his childhood nemesis, Steve Allen Drone.
From that moment, I couldn't bear listening to Bono, all thanks to Steve Allen Drone, S.A. Drone, which uses the same letters as Anderson. Wow. The harpoon. Ooh.
Ibiza. The name Anderson is everywhere, leading to as yet unclarified repercussions of supposed significance. Is it supposed or supposed?
Supposed.
Well, either.
Yeah. Robbyns floats around in the ocean with the surfer who poisoned a DJ who was connected to the Anderson file.
My school nemesis, Anderson. The surfer's tattoo says Anderson. Heck, even Jones's wife's maiden name is Anderson. Like a batsman fishing around his off stump, I simply can't escape the name Anderson. I thought I could go undercover with you surfers, but I can't be bothered. Cut to the chase, dude man. What crime are you engaging with?
Well...
And before you start, I already know you rob banks dressed as American presidents to fund your lifestyle of chasing the best waves.
How did you know that, my dude?
It's what you all do. What I want to know is why did you poison that DJ? And what's your connection to the Anderson file?
I couldn't possibly tell you that, man.
The surfer pulls out a harpoon he's somehow concealed in his board shorts. He takes aim at our hero.
Ha! That's a highly impractical weapon. One miss and you're done, you salty fool.
Robbyns! Get in!
Why are you flying an Apache helicopter, Jones? The eagle of the skies!
Well, you know what? I can't swim, Robbyns, so I got a license for situations just like this.
Robbyns leaps into the helicopter and climbs to safety until...
Vitals stable. Mind enormous. Blood alcohol level nil.
Where am I? This isn't the vineyard.
Robbyns, it's me. John, you're safe, but you're in hospital. But your voice, you've lost your trademark Cork accent despite being sober as a John.
How on earth could that have happened?
I'm not sure, but it could have something to do with a harpoon that's currently stuck through your head. It's skewered like those minty lamb kebabs that liven up a standard barbecue.
And what of the surfer?
Oh, death by medium-sized wave. He took his eye off the ball.
Another lead, inconveniently dead.
Well, like Katie Price once said, never underestimate the power of the sea.
Jones, the metal rod currently splitting my prefrontal cortex. It's made my mind even more massive. I now understand exactly how to solve the Anderson file.
The bottle.
D.I. Robbyns and DCI Jones are still in hospital, waiting to hear if Robbyns can be discharged.
I'm telling you, Jones. Sorry, so boring, isn't it?
No. It's you sound confident. It's great.
Yeah, I don't know. but it's still there. The past. Anyway, I'm telling you, Jones. I don't know exactly what caused me to lose my accent, but I'm now certain I know how to solve the Anderson file. The two must be connected.
No, I'm not a doctor. But I think it might have something to do with a massive harpoon lodged in your head.
I don't know. All I'm sure of right now is that keeping this harpoon in my head could potentially hold the key to figuring out the Anderson file. Remove the massive toothpick from this stuffed olive, and we remove any chance of the case being solved. If anyone dares de-skewer me, I'm running out of here.
A doctor walks into the room, clipboard in hand.
Well, Mr. Robbyns, I'm pleased to say you'll be free to leave very soon. We just need to remove the giant harpoon from your skull.
I see. Say, Doc, I know what would cheer me right up. Would you mind showing me your impressive breakdancing routine one more time?
Well, it will be against the Hippocratic oath to not respect the wishes of a patient. Time to throw down. It's fresh.
Oh, yeah. The doctor launches into a complex b-boy routine. Just as he executes an impressive headspin, Robbyns spots his opportunity.
Let's get out of here, Jones. I've got to tell you how we solved the Anderson file.
Come in, Robbyns. Just be careful running through that.
Robbyns, like a dog carrying a big stick, gets stuck in the doorway. It temporarily affects his accent. Ivo?
Mamma mia! I need to be careful running through this hospital.
At the corner, Robbyns. The Cosworth is waiting. I'll drive us.
Careful with the clutch. That's Italian.
It's still Italian.
Careful with the clutch. The biting point is notoriously...
Careful
with the clutch. The biting point is notoriously elusive unless, like me, you've got a secret past as an F1 driver.
Jones fires up the Cosworth, and they head for safety.
So you really think you know how to solve the Anderson file?
I'm certain, but unlike everything that's happened so far, it might not make sense straight away.
Up ahead, Robbyns spots a supermarket.
Ah, Car 5. They stock wine from my own vineyard there. Stop here, Jones. I'll grab us a bottle of Sancerre. Here you go, Jones. My most popular bottle to date. Sultans of Swig. all at the affordable price of €750 quid. And as the bottle says, it has notes of gooseberry, elderflower. And what's this? Grassy aromas?
Oh, that sounds delightful. I bet it'd be brilliant with boiled ham. What's wrong?
I actively avoided grassy aromas in this vintage. Jones, someone else is producing wine from my vineyard whilst we've been gallivanting around Europe. We've been infiltrated. This whole episodic goose chase has been to get us away from the vineyard. We need to get back to the Loire Valley now.
The flight.
After discovering that someone has sent them across Europe purely to gain access to Robbyns' vintage Sancerre, DCI Jones and DI Robbyns hot-footed straight to Ibiza Airport to catch a Jet 5 flight direct to the Loire Valley.
Don't you just despise the stupidity of the masses, Jones, rushing at the gate to queue for allocated seating? Only someone with a mind as extensive and harpooned as mine can step back and appreciate that sometimes you're just better. I'm no wildebeest in the herd.
Well, you did pay for priority boarding to get on 10 minutes before them.
And 2 cabin bags for £50, remember? That's a cracking deal. It means I was able to bring back 2,000 cigarettes with me. All for personal use, obviously.
Robbyns and Jones settle into the flight, patiently waiting to return home. Thirsty for a glass of wine, Robbyns signals the flight crew. There's no answer.
Jones, my innate detective senses are tingling. No safety demonstration, nobody refusing to serve a Brit any more spirits, no pilot from the home counties on the intercom. There's no crew on this plane. We must have set off without them.
Well, how on earth did we get 29,000 feet above Toulouse?
Robbyns and Jones open the door to the cockpit.
If there's one thing I know about autopilot, it's that it can take off, but it can't land.
What in the name of Chris Gunter are we going to do? Air traffic control, do you read me?
Hello, this is Loire Valley Air Traffic Control. How can I help you?
Our plane's taken off without any crew and we need to land it.
That's good, Ivo. Keep going.
I got a French degree. Oh, zut alors! I meant to be clocking off in 10 minutes. I'm sorry, I cannot help you.
But the lives of many people are at stake.
I'm sorry, but I'm finishing my 2 days of work for this week. Au revoir.
Well, maybe I can help. After all, I did recently tell you that I have a helicopter's license.
Jones, you can't equate the two things. Rotors and wings are simply not comparable. I'll have to take control. This plane is essentially the Cosworth of the skies. It can't be too hard to work out. What is SM high pass filter on? Sorry, that's a side effect. Sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Captain Robbyns speaking. My flight attendant is currently making his way down the aisle with an inexplicable selection of bland snacks, jewellery, and perfume.
Madame, what can I get you? Cheese and ham toasty. Well, that sounds a flavour combination too intense for my taste bud. How about just a slice of ham? Or what about some jupe? It's on special offer and it would pair excellently with that ham.
We're approaching the Loire Valley. Brace yourselves. This might get bumpy.
Robbyns executes a perfect landing without flaws.
Jones, there's a problem. I can't find the Jess Glynn button. For licensing reasons, this flight isn't fitted with Jess Glynn's Hold My Hand. There's probably people from Manchester who will suspect they're in danger if they don't hear the soothing sounds of Glynn after landing. We'll have to improvise. Good job, Jones. Now let's get to that damn vineyard.
The vineyard.
D.I. Robbyns has just landed a commercial airliner in the Loire Valley. Now, he and Jones must hurry to the vineyard to find out who's been making wine using his grapes.
Jones, are you wearing lead-lined winkle pickers or something? Hurry up! We're in a race against wine.
But do we need to wait for the Cosworth to come through oversized luggage?
No, I built the vineyard next door to a major airport so I could fly to package holiday destinations at a moment's notice.
Robbyns and Jones cross the road and look out into the distance to see the vineyard.
Holy mother of deduction.
By the left boot of Chris Gunter.
I never thought such a thing was possible.
What have they done, Robbyns?
They've built the world's largest wine factory on my vineyard.
Robbyns, they've industrialised you.
To quote Mrs. Tweedy, grapes go in, wine comes out.
It must be, 20 stories tall and covering several square miles?
Several square kilometres if we're being PC. This is awful. You know how much pride I take in my small batch production methods.
We've only been gone 2 days. How have they done it?
2 words, Jones. Prefabrication. Ever been to IKEA? Plus, it's incredible what you can put up with an efficient planning system.
Well, let's get in and tear the place down like a NIMBY councillor.
Robbyns and Jones approach the vineyard cautiously. The entrance has been fitted with a top-level security system. Jones leans in and examines it closer.
Robbyns, I've never seen a system like this before. What is it?
I've heard of this. It gives you 6 chances to name a 5-letter word. Each time you make a guess, it tells you if the letters match or occupy the correct position. Get the word right within 6 guesses, and we'll get into the vineyard.
Okay, I see. Right, try typing in the word fuzzy.
Are you trying to get us locked out? You go and stand guard. I'll take care of this. Okay, let's start with something common. Adieu. A and N are in there. A and E are in there, but they're in the wrong place. Any more wrong guesses will raise suspicion. Come on, Robbyns. If I were to secure a vineyard, what would be the one word that people would never guess? I've got it!
Access granted.
Oh my goodness me, you've done it, Robbyns. How did you guess the word?
Only the most brilliant of minds would have been able to guess that grape would gain access to a vineyard. Now, come on, Jones. Let's save some wine.
The speech.
After successfully infiltrating the world's biggest wine factory, Robbyns and Jones look to find out what's going on.
Tell you what, Robbyns, this place is amazing. Beautiful colour scheme, the use of natural lighting. It's like something George Clark could do, but massive.
This isn't interior designs masters with Alan Carr, Jones. We're supposed to be snooping for clues, not admiring their tasteful deployment of farrow and ball. But if anyone spots us, we need a cover story. We can't let people know who we really are.
Factories. Who would visit a factory?
Oh, I know! Wallace!
Yes. I'll be Wallace, you be Gromit.
No, you blithering half-wit. I'll be Greg Wallace. You can be Cherry Healy. We're scouting for the new series of Inside the Factory.
At that very moment, a frantic security guard runs round the corner and heads towards Robbyns and Jones.
Follow my lead, Jones. This will be a piece of cake.
There you are. You must be the guys from the Motivate to Motive 9. Motivate to Motive 9, here to improve the mentality of our workers.
Yep, that's us, all right. Who else could we be?
Perfectement. Follow me. I've gathered the workers in the canteen.
Wallace is out of the window, Jones, but don't worry. There'll only be a handful of people there. In, motivate, out.
Robbyns and Jones are led into the canteen where they are greeted by 50,000 factory workers.
Okay. Right, oh my God, This is what the Hammersmith Apollo must be like. Oh my God, I could only imagine performing in the Leisure Centre in Carmarthen, but here we go.
Such references are of no use now, Jones. I believe every act at the Apollo immediately sells out.
Robbyns and Jones walk onto the stage and step up to the microphone.
If I ever told you that 600 billion euros in wine profits was lost every year due to low staff morale, you'd probably tell me I was drinking Echo Falls Fruit Fusions.
Yeah. Sure. That's big.
Well, I hate to break it to you, I only drink dry wines.
There's nothing more costly to the industrial wine industry than sad faces, isn't that right?
Yeah. And we know that nothing matters more than the bottom line. And the bottom line is that your bottom lips are our bottom line. And the top line, we're here to help you. So how are we going to motivate you? With a simple technique I like to call cash.
Because wine is a lot like podcasts, actually. First you make one bottle of wine, that's fine. But what about instead you make 2 bottles of wine with the same amount of time? Then you've got more wine.
So make more wine, make more cash, make more motivated.
Oh no, Robbyns. You were meant to destroy Big Wine, not triple their profits.
The security guard approaches Robbyns.
Zut alors, that was incredible. I've received word from our leader. He wants to meet you right away.
Well, Jones, it looks like we're finally going to meet the person behind all this. Maybe some closure is around the corner.
The boss.
Fresh from accidentally giving a motivational speak to thousands of workers, which has seen profits of Big Wine triple, Robbyns and Jones are called to the big boss's office on the top floor. Why is there a wine factory on Robbyns' land? What is the Anderson file? Who's behind it all? All is about to be answered. A security guard calls a lift. The two step in and press the top floor button.
Straight to the top floor. In the next 3 minutes, we'll find out who is behind all this and have an incredibly satisfying conclusion.
Yes, even with so many loose ends, this is the end game. Why are we stopping again?
Jones, what are you leaning on?
Oh!
Jones, your voluptuous rear has pushed all the buttons of this vertical metal horse, and it must be at least 200 stories. We're going to be here forever.
It's been hours, Robbyns. I'm going insane. My whole life is dings and ever-increasing pressure in my ears.
Wait! Here we are, floor 253, the penthouse, the conclusion. No!
It's broken. This is just like the X11 from Llanelli to Carmarthen, and I can tell you there's nothing express
I
about...
don't need another Welsh analogy. How do we get out of here? This alarm button says we need to speak to someone called Otis. Hello, Otis. Are you there, Otis? Do you read me, Otis? Oh, we're stuck. No one can hear us scream.
Are we going to die here, Robbyns?
I fear so, yes.
But your enormous mind, it always dragged us out of these situations.
Jones, don't you understand the dynamics of a Faraday cage? My enormous mind relies on external stimuli, and this metal box is interrupting the brain waves. Lifts are my kryptonite. Such an enclosed space isn't good for my massive brain. I can't think. We'll die here, Jones. There's no way we can open that door. No knife, no crowbar, because as you know, I don't carry weapons. It's all over.
Robbyns, the harpoon that stuck through your head hasn't just opened up previously unaccessed recesses of your analytical brain. Its Swiss Army properties can lever open the door using basic physics. Imagine we're Victorian body snatchers. Your head is the crowbar, the door is the coffin containing the cadaver.
Crivens, Jones, you are useful for something. Wedge me.
Jones jams the comically large harpoon in Robbyns' head into the crack of the door and levers him like one would pull a pint. The door slides open, and on the other side they see...
You! What are you doing here?
Robbyns and Jones are on their way to meet the big boss of Big Wine. They reach the office and the lift doors open.
You! What are you doing here?
Name's Knopfler? Mark Knopfler?
The lead singer of Dire Stray? You're my all-time hero.
It is I, Sultan of Swing, the man who brought roots rock to the masses.
Come on in, my brother-in-arms. You can help us find out who built the world's biggest wine factory in my vineyard.
You won't need to do much searching, for I built the factory.
It can't be! The one man I love more than many other? Why, Knopfler, why? You sold between 100 and 120 million records. You'd be making money for nothing other than greed.
When Knopfler senses a profit, Knopfler moves. It's the walk of life, baby.
How has it come to this? Less than a week ago, I was living La Vinda Loca. And now my whole world has come crashing down. My wine, my hero, all dead to me. But Knopfler, you couldn't have pulled this off alone. Isn't that right, DCI Jones?
What have I got to do with it? That's insane.
Who else would know that my obsession with the elusive Anderson file would distract me enough for Knopfler to get to work?
But the case needed solving. I mean, for goodness sake, with the long arm of the law, man.
Solving? How can you solve a case that doesn't even exist?
What do you mean?
In all this time, we've come no closer to finding out what the Anderson file even is. I couldn't crack the case because there never was one. And all because you couldn't think of a crime intriguing enough to keep up over several episodes.
Yeah, but all of the consumable adventures we've had with all of the side characters.
All of those people with dodgy accents, you mean? A quick search of IMDb and the local panto scene solved that one. Out-of-work actors.
Yeah, but look, Knopfler's literally sitting in the big chair.
Knopfler was your key slip-up, the final piece. You got cocky, Jones. You needed seed capital to execute this, and the betrayal would hurt me most if it came from my millionaire all-time hero. You made it personal. Only you could know my love of Knopfler. You are the center of it all.
DCI Jones pulls out a shotgun from his trousers.
And I thought you were always just pleased to see me.
Well done. Well done, little D.I. Robbyns. You and your enormous brain have finally put two and two together. But it's too late. This factory will soon be producing Echo Falls Fruit Fusion to full production. It cannot be stopped.
Why would you do this to me, Jones?
All those years sat in that damn Cosworth. Dire straits over and over again. I pleaded and pleaded for something other than Roots Rock. It drove me insane. Throw in all the paperwork your rule-breaking left me with, and I needed revenge.
So you came for my pride and joy, my...
Small batch production. High-quality vines being wasted. It was simply too good a chance to miss. Sweet, profitable 12% ABV revenge. And now, Robbyns, you're the only loose vine remaining. Prepare to go to the great wine cellar in the sky.
You wouldn't dare.
I'm sorry, but this is madly. I thought this was just a chance to get into the lucrative wine industry, just like Kylie and Ian Botham did it. I didn't sign up for any of this.
Realising he's not a fan of how things are panning out, Knopfler reaches across his desk and flings a fruit bowl in the direction of DCI Jones. Jones loses his footing on the ball pit of grapes. Jones falls and trips into a giant vat of wine thousands of feet below.
No sour grapes, Jones.
John, Robbyns, I had no idea all of this would involve betraying someone whose Spotify rap shows in the top 0.1% of Dire Straits listeners. How could I ever repay you?
Well, if there's one thing I love more than being a detective, it's slapping the bass. I've always wanted to shred back-to-back with the Brothers Knopf. What do you say? Can you make a little Irish boy's dream come true?
Well, our very own supergroup.
Yes. Dire Straits.
Robbyns, go fire up the Cosworth. We're off on a European tour.
Here we go again.